All right, so the tail end of that last part one video, now we're making part two. And on part one, I ended right here and I said, oh, I was about to write 340. So it's really important that when I move my mouse up to this corner, I'm just about 220, right? Just on that point, 220. And I moved over to 340, but I was going to write 340, but I don't want to write 340 because it from 200 to 340, 200 to 340, I have to subtract to get the difference because what I'm putting is a width, and 340 minus 200 is 140. Okay, and now from 20 down to 100, 20 to 100, 100 minus 20, 20 to 100 is 80 pixels further along. So now I actually put width and length. I'm following width and height. I'm following the syntax of line 26. Line 27 gives me that rectangle, which you see already as drawn. I'll rerun it, and there we go. Now, the next one after rectangle, I'm way up here, so I did a line. I did a triangle. I did a quadrilateral. I did a rectangle. I need an ellipse. So I'm going to line 28. I'm going to make it a comment, but I need to get into the reference and find my ellipse. And find the syntax. So let me copy that. Come back here. Make it a comment. The word again is syntax. I'm going to put another comment below. Special note. Width is required. However, if you don't put height, it makes a circle. How cool is that? So check this out. I'm going to go ellipse, and I need an XY, and I'll start with just width for now, and then I'll add the height as well. So let's put on this point here where I am. So I'm at 81, 120, 80, 120. So 80, comma, 120. That's going to be the center of my circle. And if I'm at 80, 120, 80, 120, and each circle, I believe, is 40, 60, 80, 120, yeah, so I want 40. I'm going to do 40. I'm going to do 45. So 45, oh, look at that. Maybe I'll go 50. You're getting the idea, right? That whatever I put that third number to be, it makes it the width and the height. And if I do the width and the height, it's just giving us a circle. Okay, that's interesting. But you know what? It also implies that I can put a height as well. So if my width is 60, my width is 60, but I want my height to be taller. I want my height to be 60, so that's 30. And I want to go another 30. Yeah, so 60 and another 60, because 30 on each side is 120. I wonder what that's going to do. Oh, interesting. So I made an ellipse. If I want it to be wider than it is narrow, I could just switch those numbers. Easy enough. Getting the idea? So now I've made an ellipse. By the way, because I'm recording and showing you this, I'm running out of space here. Notice that if you're not getting errors and the console isn't needed, you can clear that down, lower it out. And I think I only have one last thing to do, and that's going to be the arc. So I'm going to put a comment over here, and I'm going to find my arc. So here's my arc. Arc is interesting. Arc is confusing when you're talking about in pi, because we don't learn that in 6th grade, 7th grade, maybe not even 8th grade. So instead of working in pi, I found that I can equally work in something called radians, where you're able to actually put the degrees. So I'll show you that. So first of all, here's my, okay. I'm going to put a special note on this one. For start, and stop, comma, use radians as degrees on a circle. So check this out. Here we go. I'm going to make an arc. The X and the Y is where it starts. So I'm going to put it over, here on that point, 260, 340. 260, comma, 340. Okay. Now, I need a width and a height. A width and a height. So I'm going to go 40 this way and 40 that way. So I want to be 80. Okay, so where did I start? 263.40. Okay, 263.40. There we go, 263.40. And I want to go up here. So 320, 340, that's 20 difference, but I need both sides, so I'm going to do 40. Whoops. 40. So now I have, thus far, I have an X and a Y. That's the coordinate where I'm going to start. X, Y. This is my width and height. So is it going to be wider or taller? For me, I'm going to say if 80 is bigger, it's going to be wider. And finally, I need a start and a stop. So I'm going to show you how radians is what I'm talking about. I'm going to put 270 as a start, and I'm going to do radians 90 as an end. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a minute as I wiggle my way around editing. So here we go. Uh-oh, I think I have an error. Arc. So let's see. Did I spell radians wrong? Uncaught, missing. Okay, let's see. 260. Oh, I know what I did. Look what happened right here. I forgot to put an extra comma. Let's run it again. Okay, there we go. Now, you know what? I do want it to be taller. So XY with height. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go 80 full. So it almost looks like a circle, except now it's only half a circle. 270s on the top. 90s on the bottom. Let's change that. Let's put 90 on the top and 270 on the bottom. So I'm starting on the bottom, but it goes, by the way, clockwise. So I'm going to rerun that. You see what I just did? You know what? I want to start on the left-hand side, and I want to end on the right-hand side, but I want the dome facing up. So 180 to 0. You know what? I want it on the bottom, so I'm going to go 0, and I'm going to put it same way. Get the idea? I want a full 3/4 of a circle. You getting the idea how we could play around. Now, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to put a comment at the bottom, and I'm just going to say, message me or leave comments if you have questions. Whoops, I better put that as a comment. From Mr. H. 318. I'll leave it like that. I'm going to do a file and a save. I'm going to stop my